For me, it's not about trying to get in the ring to fight someone. It's the focus, the direction it gives me, and the cardio. It's just another fun workout.
As a woman, how you're mentally more stronger, you're mentally more resilient, and how you feel you've now got this collective and a new family. Sisters in strength.
For young girls to see female coaches, females being empowered, being strong, being fit and enjoying it, I think that's very important.
Solidifying our space within boxing and solidifying that we can also be a part of that community.
I hope you're ready for a fight.
Fight!
Fight.
Hi, my name's Rebecca Donnelly, MBE. I am CEO of Fight for Change. We are here at the Black Prince Trust, and I'm going to go show you the gym. So we're here in the heart of Kenton, in Lambeth, and this is where we enter into the building. So here we are. This is the gym. Lovely punch bags, 2 rings there. And then at the top, there is fitness equipment, including runners, rowers, a step-up box and weights. And then we come into the last part of the gym, which is the matted area, hanging bags and 2 cycle bikes there, and our lovely office just at the back there. When I first started into the boxing, it's quite a male-dominated sport. There weren't many females within the boxing clubs. When we had to do sparring, we sparred the boys because there's no more females. I think I never really felt, I just felt one part of the team when I was doing it. It was only really going into the coaching side that I kind of noticed there was different coaches had different opinions about female coaches, almost like we weren't going to be as good as the male coaches.
1, 2, good. 4, good. Uppercut, up, straight, good. Now we'll go, I know you like the slip, so we'll do 1, 2, slip, bang, yeah? 1, 2, slip, bang. Slip off to the side, elbow up. Elbow, shoulder.
I remember that there was this young girl, because you must have been young, 10, 8?
Yeah, no, would have been no older than like 9.
Yeah,
When
obviously
I first
she's only
came in.
19 now, because it's only been 10 years, so I'm not that old.
I think one of the main factors that made me continue to come back to Fight for Change was probably the fact that I was good at boxing. I enjoyed the fact that I was getting, oh, you're quite good at this. If you learn this, you'll be able to get better at this. Also, it was an excuse for me to let out my anger and not get in trouble for it. You know, I can come in here, I can punch a punch bag and no one's gonna question me about why I'm being violent or being aggressive. But it was a safe space as well. Rebecca and our old boxing coach, Mark, shout out to Mark, he created a space where I felt comfortable to express myself in the ways that were important for me as a child.
I feel it's really important to have a space for girls to train. I've been to many boxing places, but it's filled with men. And I feel like a lot of people, women, when they go there and they see that it's filled with men, they're like, oh, want to back up. Boxing definitely adds value to me as it gives you a lot of confidence. For example, when you're walking on the streets at a dark time, usually like your head's down. But if you like know boxing and you know that, you know what to do, you can walk with confidence.
I think people need to understand that at different points in a young person's life, they're going to need an intervention and they're going to need that support.
I think it's very important for there to be women coaches, and that's why I am going to be a coach myself, because I think it might sound a bit cliche, but if you can't see it, you can't be it. And for young girls to see female coaches, females being empowered, being strong, being fit and enjoying it, I think that's very important.
So this is Kennington. This is where I grew up. You know, I've roamed these streets for as long as I can remember. The Black Prince Trust is over here, right behind us. This is where we run some of our sessions, some of our female sessions. Alongside running sessions here, I run classes in Peckham. I run female classes inside Peckham School. There is a small youth centre called the Bradfield that we are doing some work directly with young girls who might have SEND issues or behavioural issues. And it's my role there to be a boxing coach and a mentor for them.
Sports is extremely important for young girls and their mental health.
sports creates, you know, whether that's boxing or football, it creates an environment, cohesive environment where they feel belong, they feel welcome, they feel like they can trust the people, their coaches. Sometimes as a coach or a mentor, you're in a privileged space to obviously gain their trust, and that's really important.
You can take on the world, you leave, you've got a sweat on, you feel good, the endorphins are flowing. It feels empowering, I guess, and it makes you feel strong, it gives you discipline. Yeah, I guess it just makes you feel empowered.
So for the coaches, for the young girls, we have to give them accurate representation of all of the different types of women that can be involved. You know, I'm a small black girl, I present masculine sometimes, I present feminine sometimes. It's really important to have a wide mix of representation, especially with girls, because if they see someone that looks like them doing something like boxing, they'll be more likely to get involved.
Trace that is. How much of a difference does that kind of thing make? It makes a huge difference. We don't expect things to change overnight. They will change gradually, but they must change.
So we're here on the Myersfield estate. This is where Fight for Change runs some more of our programs, specifically relating to girls. On Mondays, we normally do boxing. On Tuesdays, we do basketball and football. So this is a multi-sport session that we do down here on the Myersfield. Part of the reason we work here on the Myersfield is because this area is known for quite high gang activity. And with the girls, it tends to be gang exploitation and other types of exploitation, unfortunately. So we come onto the estate and do different interventions with the girls, including the sports stuff, as well as a little bit of mentoring, just to make sure that these girls are getting a better opportunity at life, and we're here to support them every step of the way. What about trips? We gotta start thinking about where we're gonna go in the summer early, so what kind of trips do you wanna go? Do you wanna go like Chesterton, Thorpe Park?
Yeah, like a park. Maybe.
What about the beach?
Yeah.
You wanna go to the beach? You have to hope that the weather's good, because you know how it is in London. The weather's always up and down. Being a CEO of a charity, I realise that it's not just about being the CEO, you have to have so many different hats on. Fight for Change is a small charity, we're doing well and we're doing really good impact, but we're still a small charity in comparison. So I am CEO, I'm mentor, I'm HR, I'm IT, I'm program manager, I'm program coordinator, and sometimes I'm coach. So I have all those hats that I wear within the organisation. And the organisation's been going over 15 years now. And more recently, in the last 5 years, I'm now a mum. I'm a single mum, and I'm a mum to a young boy who's autistic. So juggling every single role you can think of, trying to keep the charity afloat, trying to make sure that the funding is continued for the work that we're doing, which is vitally important because we need to change the young people that are coming up. The important thing to remember is that when we're speaking to funders and when we're having that funding, that it's not short term, because short term doesn't allow us to work with a person throughout their life cycle. I'll give you an example of a girl that Rihanna's working at the moment. Later on in life, she's getting an autism diagnosis. So she needs that intervention work now. So we can't just stop working with her past that funding period, because who is there going to continue to do that work and that vital work, because she's now at that vulnerable state of her life. She's a teenager and she needs that support to continue on with her life.
So I've learned to realise how important it is that the workers themselves also have a support system. So with UPCHANGE, they've created a whole network of women doing similar work to me. All of them are coming from grassroots organisation. We are all directly involved in changing the lives, changing the progress of the young women that we work with. But it can be a lot of work, it can be stress for us. So being able to work within a network where we've got like-minded people who are doing exactly the same things as us, we can come together, we can work together, we get to talk about how our work makes us feel, where the issues are in our work.
And it's interesting to talk about how that differed from our situation and our areas, because everyone was using their own medium to engage. We used boxing because we believe that boxing is really good for the cohort that we're working with. But then there's others that use different ones. There's football, for me, it's all around learning and learning from other females. Ever since it was announced for women's sport and women's Olympics, and you had Nicola Adams, you had Natasha, Jonas, you had Savannah Marshall, you had all those that were, and obviously the Katie Taylors of the world as well. You had all them competing. The trickle-down effect was amazing. And the cycle that keeps continuing, producing world champion. I know the national governing body in itself, the increase in women's development within them is really, it goes sky high. If you think back to before it was an Olympic sport, they had a women's development officer within Amateur Boxing Association of England, it used to be called at the time, to try and encourage, and it was hard work to get women into it. But having that exposure is worth its weight in gold, to really have someone representing me as a woman on that scale, and a young girl seeing that and thinking, I want to be the next Katie Taylor, I want to be the next Natasha. It trickles down 100% into the clubs.